What's up guys, Coach Az here. I got asked by one of my guys a few days ago, what can I do on my rest days to ensure that I'm getting maximum recovery out of them so that I can perform better in the week when I'm training. And it got me thinking about active rest days and the things that we should try to make sure that we're including so that we're operating at our best when it comes to being in training camp or preparing for a grading or just generally making sure that your body and mind are in good shape to ensure that you get the best out of your training. Typically, when we think of a rest day, we think of doing absolutely nothing, of resting. So you just eat, sleep, relax, spend time with family, spend time with friends. You don't do anything associated with your sport. And generally speaking, that's good advice, especially if you're training every day of the week. Maybe you just take Sundays off, and even more so if you're doing double sessions where you're training in the morning and then again in the evening. It's really important, not only obviously for your body to recover by having a rest day, but for your mind, that you don't burn out by just constantly having the sport and having the activity on your mind. However, let's say you are in the build-up of a camp, so it's like a 12-week period in the run-up to a fight, or it's coming up on a big important grading, and you want to ensure that for that day you peak just right, and therefore even a rest day, you want to ensure that you're doing what's necessary to recover. Then there are a few things you can introduce on your rest day to make it more of what we'd like to call an active rest. Active rest days effectively mean that you're still going to move around, you're still going to be active, but you're not going to put your body and your mind and your nervous system through the same toll that it would go through the rest of the week. So here's 3 things that you can include on an active rest day to make sure that you're getting the most out of it. Number 1 is going to be stretching and myofascia release. In my opinion, and especially as you get older, stretching is one of those things that you can certainly do every day with no real issue. And when you're active in training, I'm sure that you're probably stretching before the session, maybe during a little bit, certainly after if you're looking after yourself, right? But very few times do we dedicate a proper 30 minutes to an hour on our stretching. So an active rest day is a great day to include a long, relaxed stretching session. This might just simply mean going and joining a local yoga class, do a full body stretch routine. Alternatively, there's plenty of routines online. I'm going to do one for this channel in the near future so that when you've got the time, you can just do a very light warm up, maybe some star jumps, maybe not even, and then go into a nice flow. A nice stretching flow, holding each position for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and work your way from top to bottom. Combined with this is some myofascia release. So if you haven't heard of this term, the idea basically is as you train, as you work your body, your muscles can get knotted, they can get tight. And myofascia release, whether it be through foam rolling, massage, a massage gun, these are just all ways of helping our muscle tissue to relax, to loosen up, to move, to get rid of any built up lactic acid, etc. Personally, I've got a lot out of a simple foam roller. In case any of you are wondering, this is the one I use. This one is by Trigger Point. I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I can say that I recommend it. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. It's just right for me in terms of using it on my upper back and on my legs, my hips, and my thighs. I've heard a lot of great things about massage guns, so I can probably recommend them to you, but personally I've never had any experience with them, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go spend 50-60 quid on one when you can just buy a £10 foam roller instead. Now, if you can afford to, and if you've got the opportunity, going and getting a professional massage is a great idea. This way, you really get the right focused attention on the correct areas. And of course, they just have a better understanding and they've got that feedback of knowing what the muscle feels like when it's tight, when it's relaxed, and they can probably give you more information about where the origins of your tightness are coming from. So find yourself a good sports masseuse, and even if it's once every couple of months, go down and just get them to work your body so that you can have a better awareness of where you've got issues and where they might be creeping up from within your training. The second thing you can do with an active rest day is some film study. So instead of actually participating in your sport, you can sit down and you can watch some fight footage. Now this might be of your next opponent if you've got the opportunity to watch it. It might be of people that you admire, whose style you want to emulate, who you want to learn from. Or it might be very specific things like looking at someone who's got a really good jab and trying to understand the mechanics of what they do and how it works. There's so much footage available to us now, whether it be on YouTube or via streaming services such as the UFC Fight Pass. I really recommend starting to get into the idea of watching fights in your spare time. Another great thing you can do with this is you can film yourself throughout the week and then use this day to watch back the footage and start to break down the things that you do well, the things that you don't do so well, and what you need to work on. Maybe you'll notice that you drop your guard at a specific moment all the time. Maybe you notice you're always getting hit with the same shot. A lot of this is really difficult to pick up when you're in the training. But when you can sit back and watch it with a relaxed mind and, a little bit of rest on you, you normally can pick up a lot more from this footage. But again, I will say a word of caution with this one is, don't watch it all the time. You don't want to get too obsessed with, let's say, what your opponent is doing or the intricate little details of what your standing foot does when you kick, because all of this obsession can cause a bit of paralysis by analysis. The other thing that can end up happening is you end up with burnout, where you just spend all your time either doing or thinking about the sport, and therefore it just starts to become tedious. But again, in the build up to a camp or you're working towards a special event, this can be a real useful tool to start implementing into your training and on your rest days. The last thing I'll recommend for an active rest day is go play another sport. Whenever you specialize in any kind of sport, what that's going to result in is certain movement patterns being repeated over and over again. So if you're a striker, you extend your arm out and bring it back, let's say 100 to 1,000 times a week. So you get very good at that motor pattern, which is what we want, but also your body gets very overdeveloped in certain movements and at certain muscles. So the ability to go do something completely different to your sport on occasion allows your body to be challenged in ways that otherwise it wouldn't be. It gets your joints and your reflexes and your whole body just reacting in ways that otherwise it wouldn't be doing if you were just doing your specific martial art all the time. Of course, this also comes with the added benefit of being able to socialize. Maybe it's a game of basketball or football with some friends. Maybe you go meet someone up and you go rowing. I don't know. Whatever takes your fancy. Now, obviously, you don't want to do anything too strenuous, so don't go out and play a basketball game and play at 100% from beginning to end. There's no sense in beating up your body on that day. For you, this is just a bit of fun. It's a way of just basically switching the engine on, running it for a little while, turning it back off. We're not trying to run our bodies into the ground. Just remember, when you're thinking about all these things, that it takes confidence to take a day off. You don't want to think that you always need to be working, always need to be hustling and grinding in order to get where you need to be. Sometimes we need to take a step back and allow our body, our mind, our nervous system to recover and replenish so that when it comes time to perform, when it comes time to train, when it comes time to work, we're actually able to do so because our body has had that chance to recover. So guys, I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, do us a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I don't know what you're doing. Get yourself subscribed. We got new videos coming every week. Drills, equipment reviews, Q&As like this. I plan on doing a more long form podcast. If you'd be interested in that, drop it down in the comments below for us, and I will see you on the next one.